Hey guys, so I just watched an E3 video and he was talking about this Ojama deck that he recently played, and I kind of got inspired to build one of my own, especially after I read someone's comment about this card, Symbols of Duty, which is kind of insane. So if you don't know what this does, what it says is you can send one normal monster you control to the grave, and you can special summon a monster from either player's graveyard. So it's like a Monster Reborn essentially. It's kind of like a premature burial version of Monster Reborn. So you can send any one of these vanillas, and you can bring back a card. And the main combo, which I'll show in a little bit, involves Rescue Cat. You basically get to summon Rescue Cat twice and bring back a whole bunch of Airbellums or make some synchros. And it's kind of like a Edison version of Rescue Cat Turbo from Go format, except you're playing Ojamas. If you guys don't know what Ojamas do, let me review some of the key cards really fast. So the main card here is Ojama Country. What this does is that once per turn, you can send an Ojama from your hand to the grave to reborn an Ojama from your grave. Then you also have Ojama Magic, which is a main card that you want to be discarding for Ojama Country, which says that if this card is sent from the hand of the field to the graveyard, you can add one of each of the vanilla Ojamas to your hand. So it's like a +2. Something really funny about this card is that you get the search even when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, so you can even set it and bluff out an opponent's Heavy Storm or MST or something, and you'll still get the search, which is really funny. And then finally, Ojama Blue, which is like the heart and soul of this deck, which says when it's destroyed by battle, you can search for any two Ojama cards. So typically early in the game, you're searching for Ojama Magic and Ojama Country to do the little combo. And later in the game, you could search for anything else. It can even search itself, which is cool. So it's a potential, like if you're looking at this, you already see the Airbellums and the Monk and the Cat, so you can already see it is like potentially explosive in nature, and you're running True Nade and Cold Wave. But the deck is actually very, very grindy. Like it's actually insanely grindy. Some other notable cards that I'm playing are Junk Synchron and Instant Fusion. Obviously, you can make 3+5, which is Ojama Knight, to make level 8. And then Junk Synchron can also bring back any one of the Ojamas to make level 5. What's really cool about Instant Fusion is that you're searching out Ojama Knight, which is actually like, usable in this deck. So you'll synchro for level 8, and then you can use Ojama Country to bring back Ojama Knight, and it'll be a 2500 beater. Oh, sorry, something I forgot about this card. Its second effect is that it swaps the original attack and defense of all monsters on the field, yours and your opponent's, if you have an Ojama monster on your side of the field. So Ojama Knight becomes 2500 attack, and then basically what you want to do is use Instant Fusion as soon as possible. Sometimes you'll even just use this and end your turn just to get this in the graveyard, because then after that you can keep recurring this Ojama Knight over and over again. And you might think that 2 is overkill, but I'm running triple Instant Fusion, so if you get multiple Ojama Knights in the graveyard, you're just bringing back two 2500 beaters every turn, which is absolutely bonkers. Um, so yeah, also you're running hand destruction. I'm not sure how much I love this yet, but the idea is you can pitch your Oja Magic early on, and also one of the things with this deck is like once you search the 3 vanillas off of Oja Magic, like it's kind of hard to convert these cards. They're kind of like just fake advantage other than using them for Ojama Country. So hand destruction is just another way to convert them. Um, the side deck, I kind of just threw this together, but it's still a work in progress. But Vanity's Fiend is pretty good in this deck because you can keep special summoning your Ojama cards and tributing them. I'm running Trapstun for like Black Wings for Icarus, or like Oppression decks. Also, if your opponent's going to sign Dust Tornado against you for the country, this is good against that. And then triple Vortex for any monster floodgates like Vanities or Fossil Dyna. It's also good because you can pitch your Oja Magic, or you can convert some of your vanilla Ojamas. So just generic stuff. Um, and the extra deck, I'm also still tweaking this. I think I might need a Red Dragon Archfeed in the side. That's come up a few times. Um, yeah, the only other tweak I'm thinking of for this deck is Debris Dragon. Maybe swapping out some or all of these Junk Synchrons for Debris Dragon, because Debris is a 2k beater with Ojama Country, and Debris can also bring back Ojama Knight, which is crazy. The only thing is like Debris is like an awkward level and can only make dragons, but you can also just bring back the Ojama Knights and make Iron Chain. Sorry, the Ojama Vanillas and make Iron Chain. So I'm thinking about debris, maybe one debris. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Um, Let me just jump into a solo game real fast to show you the main combo of the deck, and then I will show you some replays. Um, so let's just put these all back and show you what you need to do the combo. Okay, so you really only need one card to do the combo, or Summoner Monk and any other spell card to do the like little combo. But let's just pretend we have like the nuts and do the super wombo combo. Um, so if you have these, this is like a super wombo combo, but you can see how you can build on top of each other. So let's pretend we have this, and we pitch Ojama Magic to summon Rescue Cat, and we search the vanillas. And you'd be surprised, like even though you're running these 6 bricky vanillas, like the deck is, I wouldn't say it's super consistent, but it's like surprisingly consistent considering you're playing 6 garnets. Mostly because you're running the 3 blues and the 3 hamsters to get the blues. But anyway, so let's do this. And hopefully if you're doing this combo, like you're in a position where this isn't going to get interrupted, like had a Giant Trunade, or if you're playing Heavy Storm, that instead. So bring out double Airbellum, you synchro the Airbellum and this. Optionally, you can make Arcanite if you want, but the fun combo is with Power Tool. Use Power Tool to search out the... Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Sorry, instead of this Airbellum, you're supposed to search out a Vanilla and an Airbellum instead of double Airbellum. So at this point, you add this Symbols of Duty to your hand, and you can activate this to tribute this. And if you want to, yeah, you can, you can bring back Cat. Then you can summon double Airbellum. And depending on your opponent's board, maybe you rip 2 cards out of their hand, who knows. And this is like the main combo, and that just needs Summoner Monk and 1 spell, which is pretty nice. If you have these extenders, you can do something crazier. Like you can go into Ojama Knight. Maybe you want to do this main phase 2, like after you've already attacked with the Airbellums. It really depends on your opponent's board. But you can synchro this into, I don't know, Stardust. And then you can use Ojama Country to pitch 1 to bring back Ojama Knight. And synchro with this into a level 8, which I need to work on the extra deck here, but let's just go with Thought Ruler for now. And then like next turn, you can bring back the Ojama Knight again, which is insane. I've been considering running a 4th equip card just to make Power Tool, more live, but the deck is already running a lot of bricks, so I don't really want to do that. But if you guys have a suggestion for a 4th equip spell, let me know. Okay, with that, let's jump into the replays. First replay is against Glad Beasts. Okay, first play is against Glad Beasts. I think I'm going first. I just set the blue. He doesn't do a whole lot here, so I'm just walling up. Interestingly, he Icaruses instead of attacking with the Bestiary. I'm assuming because he thinks that 1 or 2 of these are Rykos, so he doesn't want to attack into it. But he pops that, so it's pretty good Icarus. But then I have a nasty combo that I was just showing you a second ago. And, like, he has an open board, and I could not resist going for the triple Airbellum. In hindsight, I probably could have, just gone for a vanilla and then converted the Airbellums into Synchros. Like, I have this instant fusion, so I could end on a level 5 and level 8. But I see an open board here, like I just need to go for the Rip 3. So I do, and I go for big damage. Basically just rip his entire hand. In main phase 2, I make 1 level 8 instead of the level 8 and level 5. And in hindsight, like I probably should have made Thought Ruler here in this position, in this simplified game state. Like I think Thought Ruler would be better, especially because Glad Beasts play Dimensional Prison. But Stardust actually works out for me because he had a Smashing Ground, so that worked out favorably. You can already see Hand Destruction here is dead because he doesn't have two cards, and he top decks a dead card. So that is game one. Game two, I also pull off a nutty combo, I think. He's going first. Unfortunately, he opened with the Bestiary, which is probably not ideal. Um, his back row is pretty solid, actually. Definitely a lot of interruption here. But I do have the True Nade, and I'm about to pull off a nasty combo. So I go for Ojama Knight. I synchro into a Thought Ruler because Thought Ruler has pretty good defense, 23. So even when it gets flip-flopped with Country, it's still pretty big. And I can bring back the Ojama Knight. And I also pitch Ojama Magic, so search out the vanillas. And from here, I'm in a pretty good spot. I cleared his Glad Beast, which is always ideal. You don't want them to have Glad Beasts sticking on the field for too long. And gain back some life. And I'm in a pretty good spot because if he has Heavy Storm, then I have the road. He makes a hop and books this. It's going to turn into 0 defense when it flips back up, I believe. Searches for a quest. And at this point, I'm like, why did he search for this quest? I'm assuming it was because he had an Icarus. But then I'm like, why wouldn't he Icarus unless... Sorry, why wouldn't he Bestiary if he's going to play Icarus? But then that means he probably has Bestiary in his hand. Looking back, he does indeed have the Bestiary in his hand, and he also drew the Murmillo, which is unfortunate because he probably should have gone to that instead of this. But he goes for that play instead. Hand is absolutely dead, but this is where you're seeing the grindiness of this deck come into play. I could just keep bringing back this Ojama Knight. He tries to use Shrink right here, but it's actually a misplay, I believe, because Shrink switches the original attack, or cuts the original attack in half, and then Ojama Knight flip-flops the original attack and defense. So even though he cuts the original attack in half, this card still ends up having 2,300 after the Country. So he just straight up scoops right after that. So yeah, this match went pretty well. Let me show you one more match, which is against Hero Beat. I'm not sure if it's Diva Hero Beat or just Hero Beat. I think it's just Hero Beat. But Hero Beat is pretty much like a tier 1 deck, right? So, spoiler alert, I do win this match, so I was pretty happy that I beat a pretty top tier deck with this wacky deck. He has a Dust Shoot, which is pretty nice for him because my hand is absolutely dead right now. I'm forced to just stall out a few turns. I could have set this Ojama Magic, actually. Maybe it would have been a good card just to bluff a background. If he pops it, I can search. In hindsight, I probably should have done that. But I'm just top decking right now and trying to stall as best as I can. But I top deck a Summoner Monk, which is absolutely bonkers. And it actually turns out that it was good for me to keep this Ojama Magic in my hand, as you will soon see. So go for the cat play. Search for the 3 vanillas, summon Airbellum and a vanilla, and I'm summoning the vanilla so I can use Symbols of Duty. I choose to make Arcanite right here. I already have the Symbols of Duty, and clearing your opponent's aliases is really, really powerful because the Hero Beat deck has a low monster count, so if I'm clearing 2 aliases, that's already clearing, like, I don't know, like a quarter of their monsters, if not more. Like, sorry, what do they run? They run 3 aliases, maybe some Thunder Kings, Stratos, maybe some Honest. It's clearing like 30% of their monsters right here. And it's also making their Gem Sparks dead, which he did have Gem Spark. So I use Symbols of Duty to bring back Cat and Vanilla because I want to convert this Vanilla in the end phase, or convert this Airbellum in the main phase too. I rip a card. Compulse is pretty decent rip. I feel pretty comfortable making the Catastrophe now that I hit that. He is indeed playing the Diva version, I now see. And yeah, now I'm in a pretty decent spot. Just going in with this Catastrophe. I don't want to commit too much else to the board. There's not really any need. He sets a Prison and Ocean. I know he's setting a defensive trap because why would he summon this Ocean? And like, I don't know. I guess you could set this or... Oh, sorry. He has it in an attack. And it's telling me that he has a defensive trap because he wants to get the effect of Ocean. So he's assuming it's going to live, so it kind of tells me this is highly likely a battle trap. So, like, I'm going pretty ballsy right here, but I'm not really as afraid of Torrential because I feel like he would have Oh, actually, I did this last turn, huh? So he could have Torrential. Okay, never mind. I just want Super Ballsy right here. I'm just trying to close out the game, and if he has Torrential, he has Torrential, whatever. So I Brain Control, make a Mistworm, bounce back his field, and attack him directly for game. Okay, game two was a super, super grindy one. It went really long, so... Um, but this is a pretty good opening hand. I'm setting this Instant Fusion just as a bluff because I have multiple. Um, Trap Stun is... I sided in Trap Stun against this deck. I feel like that was a pretty good idea, especially because if he has Oppression, he'd probably put in Oppression, so that's good. And Hamster is pretty solid opening card. Um, some Stratos, he's pretty smart and he doesn't attack into this. He's probably assuming it's an Ojama Blue, so that's a pretty good idea. But then I top deck the Ojama Blue and decide to crash into this. I get a nice trap stun off right here. Search for country and another double country. That's the that's the sick part about this deck. You can search double country, like there's no limitations on this. It doesn't say they have to be different ones, so you're basically searching like double Monster Reborn here. But main phase 2, pitch the Ojama Magic, go +3 off of this, and I think I just bring back the blue in defense. Yep, and I flip the Hamster. Here's a little greedy play. Like I flip the Hamster. And I get this Air Bellum, and my thought process is right now the attacks and defenses are flip-flopped because I have this Ojama Blue. So he's forced to, like, even if he summons this Alias, his Alias is going to have 1300 attack, and this Stratos is going to have 300 attack. So they can't run over this Air Bellum because it'll have 1600 defense. So it forces him to attack the blue, and then the Air Bellum. And then at that point, I still have Hamster left over, which is actually 1800 attack if I summon Ojama. So... And then in the end phase, I just activate Instant Fusion just to get this Ojama Knight into my graveyard so I can bring it back next turn. So he does exactly what I just said. He attacks the blue. I search 2 more cards. Some quite up in card advantage, but most of it is garbage. Gets rid of the Air Bellum. Totally makes sense. Here I'm thinking for a long time, like, I could make a Black Rose right here, or I can make a level 8 Stardust, which is... in hindsight, probably the move. He could also have Honest in his hand too, which suck. But I end up just summoning this Air Bellum and bringing back this Ojama Knight. And I think my plan here is to just try to just attack over these cards and either bait out some back row or bait out Gemini Spark. And then if he gets rid of this Ojama Knight, then I can just bring it back with Country. And if he leaves Air Bellum, then I could synchro that main phase 2 with Instant Fusion. But I kind of just want to see what his back row is and bait it out. In hindsight, Stardust would have been a pretty decent play here, especially because he has a skill drain, which Stardust, isn't affected by. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I did not do what I just said I was going to do. I actually just tried to Black Rose right off the bat here. And my idea is that I'm going to blow up his whole field, and I'm going to activate Ojama Country and bring back Ojama Knight and attack. But I try to go for Black Rose. He skill drains. Okay. Here, I'm like, I don't really want to attack into... It doesn't really matter where I attack. I'm assuming that he has Gem Spark here. So I'm just going to clear this Stratos. In hindsight, like, my idea is, like, I'm going to try to attack this Stratos and then attack the Alias. I'm not sure if it really matters. Other than that he could have Honest in his hand, and I just want to clear at least one monster for sure. So he Gem Sparks the Black Rose, okie dokes, clear the Stratos, and I actually do 2200 damage because Stratos has 300 attack. Set this blue and pass it up. I could have and maybe should have activated this Instant Fusion in the end phase just to get another Ojama Knight in the grave, but I'm saving it in case I need to make a synchro play with it. So he bounces that back. Oh, excuse me. Actually, at this point, I wasn't playing 2 Ojama Knights, so I couldn't have done that. I've since then added a second Ojama Knight because I feel it's pretty important. So here is the grindiness I was just talking about. I bring back Ojama Knight. Normal summon this green, and he torrentials, and I just don't even care because I have another Ojama Country, and I can bring back Knight again and get in there for 25. Nope. Okay, Deep Prison, and yeah, here's another reason why I'm like, yeah, I just definitely need another Ojama Knight here. Here I thought I was in a pretty good spot. I was really hoping that he would, that I started pulling the rugs, but it's dead because his diva is gonna be dead with skill drain. Um, yeah, I do have this Starlight Road in case he manages to get to Ab Zero and I can clear it. But right now I'm just walling up, I believe. Um, okay, so he trapped and shoots at the perfect time once again. Hits the cat, which I think is a good idea, right? Because cat is just gonna get me. Oh no, it's actually a bad idea because I have two air bellums in the graveyard, so he should have seen that. He actually should have hit this air bellum, in my opinion, because I could just synchro right now into Cataster. He judgments that. Okay, that's fine, and I'm just grinding it out right now. He attacks into blue. I have no more targets left, and here I do a weird play. I've kind of gone through 22 cards in my deck, so I summon the hamster and use country to bring back a blue, and now I'm just gonna go in. He couldn't even bottomless this because it's only 11 when it comes out, and it's currently 18, so I can actually run over this alias, which is pretty dope. Um, and now he's within lethal range. He top decks a Dust Tornado, and that is garbage, and he concedes right there. So there you have it. That was a super grindy game. Um, yeah, what a grindy game that was. Um, but yeah, if you guys like this video, please leave a comment. I'm super excited about this deck. I feel like I might be getting overhyped, but I've played a few matches with it now, and it's felt fairly consistent each time. And at the very least, it's just really, really fun to play. Um, I honestly think this could be a solid tier 2 deck. Maybe I'm capping with that, but um, it's super fun. And actually, the side deck I feel like mitigates a lot of the potential problems you might have. Like one thing I was thinking right off the bat is that oppression is probably a problem for this deck, and deck Devi is also probably a problem for this deck. That's what the trap stones are for. Um, Other than that, like Lightning Vortex synergizes really well with this deck. Vanity's Fiend synergizes really well with this deck. You could definitely optimize this side deck, but I feel like this could definitely be um, at least hold its own against some other top tier decks. But anyway, this has already been a long video, so thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.